Hello and welcome to Outside the Ring. I'm Krysti Rosario and we are in beautiful Moreno Valley at the home of WBO Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Mikey Garcia. Let's go say hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. Come on in.
Thanks again. Your house is beautiful. I appreciate you letting us into your home. I wanted to, come here and see the Mikey Garcia that we don't see most of the time.
Well, no one probably has seen this yet.
I know, that's exciting.
First one to come and see me on a regular day.
The real Miguel Angel Garcia. So I'm excited. I met Angie and Ryu, and tell me again. So Ryu just turned 3 years old.
Just turned 3. We had his birthday party yesterday.
Right.
His full name is Michelangelo Ryu Garcia. Michelangelo for Ninja Turtles and Ryu for a Street Fighter character.
That's great. That's classic.
And my daughter, she's 7. She turned 7 in April. Okay. Her name is Angela Allison Garcia.
Oh wow, nice.
They're a handful.
And then your father, he lives close by. You said
he lives close by. They live actually just down the street. Like I said, maybe a mile away. It's real close.
That's good.
We've been out here about a little over 4 years now, maybe 4.5 years out in this area.
Oh, wow. And then we have Robert, who trains all of his. I mean, he's gotten so popular and so much notoriety lately, which I'm happy for him.
He's very happy also with the way things are going out as far as his training career. He's doing so much more as a trainer that he's most happy now than when he was fighting.
Wow.
That's just the way things. And he never thought about being a trainer. He just kind of slowly got into helping my dad, assisting my dad, and then started training a few fighters on his own and started to grow into what it is now.
Well, like, he didn't think of being a trainer, and you didn't really think of being a boxer, did you?
Not really. I never really dreamt about being where I'm at right now or being a boxer for a career. And when I was 14, I had my first amateur fight at 14, which is a lot late when most kids fight at 8, 10 years old.
Yep.
But I liked it. It was fun enough to keep doing it. I kept going back, and we had a total of 58 amateur fights.
That's good.
58 amateur fights as a kid. I had a record of 46-12.
Very good.
And I did win some national tournaments and a lot of state titles, and we decided to turn pro. We signed with Top Rank from day one. We signed with Cameron Duncan, same manager I've had all my career, and same promoter. And
your dream as a child, was it to be a police officer, or would that come later in life?
That also came a little later. I mean, as a kid, I remember at school they used to come with the K9 and the patrol cars, and the cops would talk to the kids, give you the badge. That was something that a lot of kids probably like and admire. So I remember that, and I had always had an interest in law enforcement.
So 2010, you graduated from the police academy.
Yes.
And then after that, did you plan on, okay, I'm going to apply and be a police officer, or did you know this was just something that you wanted to accomplish?
I started the police academy. It was in the fall of 2009, class of 09 and 10. I wanted to really know what it was to be, in law enforcement. Best way to do it is to go through the academy. Everybody will see a police officer or have encounters when it's something negative, something bad. Someone breaks into your car, you crash, or in your house, or a fight, something bad. So I really wanted to get them, insight on what it is to be in law enforcement. I actually applied at the Ventura County Sheriff's, and right at that time when I had my application in there and we're already starting the process, my boxing career started to really take a step forward. We got a fight to fight Matt Remillard in 11. But the year before that fight, Tomas Villa for the USBA title, and that's when it started to really pick up. And then later we got the Remillard fight, and it just started to really, grow. And I decided to pull back on the application with the Sheriff's Department. We also moved over here. We moved over here that same year, and they asked if I wanted to transfer everything to Riverside. But I said, you know what, let me put this to the side, let me hold off on that, and let me focus on boxing. I need to really, focus on boxing right now. There's some really good fights in front of me that I could really, look forward to, and that's why I decided to stay with boxing as opposed to law enforcement. But even, a few months ago, I was talking to the Alley County Sheriffs, and they're also interested. They said that they would love to maybe, help out and maybe hire me if I could, even if I do it just as a reserve, part-time. So I'm still, involved, trying to be involved, but not as a full-time career.
I want to ask you about your situation with Top Rank and Bob Arum. I was surprised because you've been with them since the beginning of your professional career. Your contract is up. I heard that they're not giving you a new contract and they won't release you, so that's why you're suing them. Is that correct?
We have a lawsuit against Top Rank. It wasn't a lawsuit that I planned. It just kind of had to do. I just kind of had to press the issue a little more, and by putting the lawsuit, that's how we, we're kind of putting, more pressure on Top Rank. We were scheduled to be fighting May 17th against Gamboa. That didn't, go as we planned. They had promised me that the date, even if it wasn't Gamboa, when we were fighting Burgos in New York, they said, we're not even looking at Gamboa, we're looking at other opponents, but May 17th is your date, no matter who it is. When negotiations were going along with Gamboa, we thought we were getting Gamboa, and we couldn't agree. So then they proposed other opponents. I said, sure, let's do it. If we can't get Gamboa for the right price, then we'll do something else.
But wait, for the Gamboa, is it true that they were offering him $1.5 million and you $1 million?
From what they told me, it was $1.5 million for him and $1 million to me. But originally, the first offer that they gave me was $850. And I'm not afraid to say this because I'm not gonna lie about it. This is what they told me: $850 for me, and he was at 1.5 or a little over 1.5, like 1.7 or something. Like, that doesn't make no sense to me. So then
why? I mean, you must have asked why would they give him that much money?
And they said that that's what they had already guaranteed him, and what was left over was for me.
But what is the draw for Gamboa opposed to you?
That's what I asked. That's what I asked, and they just, no one could say, no one could really, give you a clear answer. Then they finally said, well, we brought him down to 1.5, and you're at 1. It still doesn't make sense. If he's getting 1.5, I need to be making as much or even more. Honestly, I should be getting more than him. But if all we can do is even numbers, then 1.5 is fine. Or bring him down, 1.25, and I'll take 1.25, and we gotta fight.
But this is for your belt, right?
Yeah.
Your WBO super featherweight belt. So how does that make sense?
It doesn't. But that's just the way. That's what they told me. That's what it was.
That's what Bob Arum told you.
That's what Top Rank told me. And so my manager wasn't agreeing with that, of course, because we don't agree with that. He talks to me and talks to Robin. We don't agree. My dad doesn't agree. So it didn't happen.
But now, is it because Gamboa is with 50 Cent that 50 Cent thinks he's so great that he can get?
I believe that he has a lot to do with it, but there's things that we don't know. I think maybe 50 Cent and Top Rank Top Rank owes them something for getting him off his hand, or they bought him, and something is up, and that's why they keep pushing Gamboa on all these Top Rank fighters. Like now he's fighting Crawford. There's something that they probably have to fight under contract. There's got to be some other issue that we don't know about, and that's why 50 Cent keeps pushing Gamboa with Top Rank fighters. That's politics and business that they have that are not sharing with everybody. With me, I just asked for what I believe was fair, what me and my team believe was fair. And it didn't happen. So then they proposed maybe Takashi Uchiyama, WBA champion from Japan. I said, sure, let's do it. We discussed the money, and I said, that's fine. I'm good with that. few weeks later, a week or two later, they called back and said, you know what, HBO doesn't approve of that, so we can't give you that fight.
The HBO has to approve of it too?
They also have to approve of certain names.
Wow.
I mean, it's different when even though he's a world champion, they didn't feel that it was maybe if maybe they said maybe we could put you guys on a double header so that people get to know Tekashi and then you guys face each other. I said, well, that's fine too, but they didn't want us to fight each other right away. They got to build up the fight or something. It's a certain way that they want to plan their business also. I mean, HBO is a big company that wants to kind of look out for the best interest of themselves as well. How can they sell the fight better? How can they grow? So they planned on something like that, but then they just all of a sudden they scratched everything and they gave all the card to Marcus Alvarado at the forum, and they just kind of forgot about me. They didn't offer me anything else, and that's when I said, you know, I got to do something else. If you guys can't offer me anything, if you guys can't, you know, do anything for me, I need to know. Either you give me my release and, you know, look for a job somewhere else, or offer me something. And they weren't. They didn't talk about anything. So I talked to different people. I talked to different attorneys, sports attorneys, and different people that I've met over the years, and that's what they suggested I should do, and I did. I filed a lawsuit. It surprised everybody. It surprised Top Rank and everybody in the boxing world that I would do something like this, since I've been with Top Rank since day one. They were not expecting that, but what else am I going to do?
So what will you do if they, let's say if Bob Arum, Top Rank, give you a nice contract after all this? Would you want to stay with them? I
would consider it. If it's something that's, you know, interesting, that's enticing, something that's not only a promise but an actual reality that I could, you know, take, I would consider it. I mean, I'm not against Top Rank for what they've done. I mean, they've handled my career very, very well. They've taken me this far, and they've taken not only myself but a lot of other fighters. You know, like they worked with Cotto. They still working with him, even though their contracts were up, you know, a couple years ago. Still working with him. They did a very good job with other fighters, you know, and they'll keep that relationship. So I'm willing to do that too, but it has to be something that's fair and reasonable. I'm not gonna just, you know, take something just to be with them because they were with me, and I have to take, you know, I really don't believe I have to take anything from them if I don't have to, you know, why should I? But if it's a good enough offer, of course I'll consider, and if it's the best offer and best option for me, I'll take it.
Yeah, I saw a video with you at Mayweather's gym, and it was surprising, you know, after the Maidana and all that. And were you welcome over there?
I had just sparred Maidana the day before at my brother's gym.
Yeah.
Showtime cameras are there, and they asked me, "Are you gonna be at the Mayweather Media Day tomorrow?" So no, I don't even know about it. And they said, "Would you like to come?" I said, "Of course I would like to go. I mean, I've always been a fan of Mayweather. I've always said Mayweather's the best fighter in the world. You get an opportunity to see the best fighter in the world train, of course I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. You know, it's like a kid who maybe admires, you know, Kobe Bryant or Jordan or someone. If they offer them, you know, an opportunity to go see them, he's gonna go see them. You know, it's not like I could just show up at the gym and see him any day. You know, you can't. So when Showtime said, "Would you like to come? We want to shoot a little more about you," you know, and I said, "Sure, I'm there." And it was funny because we went up to the ring up in the corner, and Floyd gets in the ring, his uncle Roger get in the ring, his other, you know, people get in the ring, and they go. I was with Ellie, and Ellie calls Roger, "Hey Roger, you know, you met Mikey Garcia." "Hey, how you doing, champ?" Whatever. And so they kind of set up their little corner where we were. So it looked like maybe I was there with them because I'm standing right behind them through the whole time. So I noticed that a lot of people were taking pictures. As soon as Mayweather jumped in, as soon as Floyd jumped in, he goes to the corner to where Roger was, and he also says hi to me. And people started taking pictures, you know, of Mayweather there, and I'm right behind him. So it kind of made it seem like, oh, maybe they invited him, maybe they're talking to him, maybe he's there because of them. And it wasn't like that. It just happened to, you know, occur that way. But he worked out very hard. You know, he's different. I've never seen a training session like that. He trains very different than what we're used to. He doesn't take rounds. He doesn't take breaks. He'll take 30 minutes of mitts, and then he'll stop, take a little water while he changes gloves to go to heavy bag, changes gloves, does heavy bag another 30 minutes, non-stop. Takes a little bit of water, takes out the gloves, goes to the speed bag for another 20 minutes. He does everything like that. Yeah. He doesn't take breaks in between rounds. There's no time. It's just like 30 minutes. And then he went back to do more mitts after all that.
The real mitts, or was it the?
Well, a little bit of everything.
You know how they do that, so funny.
Part of it might be the show,
yeah,
and part of it might be workout. They do the body bag, the body punching bag.
Roger puts the bag in, or someone else? Oh, okay.
And that's mostly hard work there. Roger, a lot of it is just kind of for speed and show. Yes. I don't know what else they practice, when we're not there, because that was media day. Right. So media, it's different than a workout, but he did train really hard. So I don't know if it's a regular workout for him or maybe just for the show for the TV and cameras. But it was very interesting to see him, and I got a chance to see him. I probably won't have another chance like that ever, or you never know. So when that was offered, I said I'm there.
I want to ask you, there's something you said hit me. That's why I thought, wow, you're just really analyzed. Even when you're fighting, and maybe maybe you were misquoted, but you mentioned Orlando Salido, and I was going back in interviews, and you were talking about how you hear his breathing. Yeah. You know what's happening. You can see the body language. You know what's gonna. So it is like a chess game. You kind of know what's gonna happen next.
I am always observing my opponent. I'm looking at everything. Like I said, I'm reading his body language. I could hear and pay attention to his breathing. His best round was the 7th round. He came at me strong, and I just decided to defend myself. That was probably the only round that he actually maybe won. So I just decided to defend myself because he was on the attack. But towards the end of the round, I noticed that when we were holding, I could just hear that breathing a lot heavier. I could hear him breathing a lot heavier, and I just felt his body weight differently than previously. 8th round, I started to win again. I started to dominate that round again. Towards the end, he got me the headbutt, but before that, I just noticed that he was ready to almost go. I felt like maybe 1 or 2 rounds, and I'm gonna stop him because he's ready. I would read, all my opponents like that. I'm looking at their eyes, looking at their facial expression, especially their eyes and their body, and just the way they're holding their hands. Later they get tired, their shoulders, the way they're walking, their breathing, like I told you, just things that I catch on, and I'll start to really analyze and feel when it's time to pick up the pace, I'll do it. When I dropped Lopez, I dropped him in the 2nd round, but I saw he wasn't hurt, so I didn't go after him because he still hits hard. I'm gonna take it easy, but I know later I'm gonna get him because I already dropped him now. A few more rounds, I'm gonna catch him again. And in the 4th round, Robert yells, jab, step back, overhand right, and I do the same combination that he asked me, and I hurt him. And I noticed he was hurt. I came right at him with the left hook that dropped him and really hurt him. When I fought Martinez, same thing. He dropped me. I got right back up because I wasn't hurt. And he saw that I wasn't hurt, so he didn't really attack either. He knew. A few rounds later, I started to see that little by little, I was breaking him down. And then in that last round, when I dropped him, I think it was the 8th round, I think, it was just a really good body shot. He leaned forward. He left his, right side of his body open, and I went for that left shot.
That was a really good body shot. It hurt me watching the body shot.
It was a good shot.
Rocky Martinez.
Yeah.
Poor guy. I want to go back to Wama Lopez, that fight. Watching you in the special, and it was just devastating to see that you hit that wall with your weight.
Sure.
And you could just, I believe you weighed in at 128, was that right?
The scale read 128. I did not strip completely. I had checked the scale previous, and I was 127 and a half.
Wow.
Pound and a half over, but there was no purpose of me stripping anyway, so I just, went on scale, and it was 128, and that I couldn't do anything else.
Nothing more. You couldn't spit, you couldn't jump ropes,
we tried everything,
right?
We did everything.
You hit that wall.
We did everything before going to the weigh-in because I tried everything, and I just couldn't. There was nothing else left to do. There was nothing left to do, so basically we just decided to surrender the title at the scale because there was nothing else. There's no other way to lose any weight.
Right, and that, for me that's devastating, and I wanted to talk about it, not because really to rehash the whole thing with Wama Lopez and your title, but there's so many boys and men in the world, not just boxing. We have wrestling, we have jockeys, we have all these that are like literally killing themselves for the scale on the things that they're doing that's so unhealthy. And I'd like to just go back, and because you had mentioned another time that we spoke about what you used to do that was just wasn't really the right way to lose weight.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighters, and most every other fighter, you know, doesn't have education on how to lose weight and proper nutrition and vitamins and all this. You just kind of work out hard and then try to stay away from certain foods, and you know, use the sauna suit a lot and try to sweat it out. That's how we've done it. That's how we had always done it. But it really isn't the best way to do it. And sometimes you're starving yourself for a few days to make weight, or you're not drinking water for a few days, and still having to wear the sauna suit and work out and all this. That's not really the way to do it. You're able to do it because you have, you know, the water in you because you're losing the weight, but that's not the best way to do it. It's not the best, the most healthy way to do it either.
Great example for everyone out there that's watching, and all the kids or the young adults, you know, because we always talk about girls, and you hear girls that are bulimic or anorexic or trying to make weight. You don't hear about the boys, and there are a lot. And that's interviewing for the radio show, the fighters. That's what many of the men had said to me is the hardest, is the fight with the losing the weight.
Losing the weight. That's the biggest fight there, especially because you're always, you know, doing things that the wrong way. Like I said, most people don't have the education, don't know how to lose weight the proper ways, the proper methods, and all they do, like I said, is throw that sauna suit and stop eating or stop drinking water a couple of days before the fight, and they feel that that's the way to do it because they've gone away with it, you know, so many times. But it's not the right way. It's not the most effective way. It's not the healthy way either, you know. So it's hard, but that's why it's so much harder, because you don't know how to do it.
And this has been great. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
It's awesome. Awesome.